Hello and welcome to TrojanVision's The Week That Was, covering the news and events for the week ending Friday, November 19th, 2021. I'm your host, Aaron Taylor. Before fans packed the Vet for the homecoming game last Saturday, many spent their morning on the downtown square, starting their day getting in the spirit of homecoming with a parade. Claudia Peppenhorst has all the action from the downtown square.
That sound is the start of the highly anticipated Troy University Homecoming Parade. Homecoming Day kicked off Saturday morning at 10 a.m. with the parade in downtown Troy, where different organizations got to show off their decorated floats along with a few other elements as well.
The sorority girls, fraternity guys, and just our campus organization have done a great job. We're producing these floats. They look very beautiful. And we'll have a couple different cars with people riding in, so we're going to have a walking unit also. So the parade should be pretty fun. We just want to give the community a sight to see from Troy University.
Organizations were tasked with decorating their float to incorporate this year's homecoming theme, Hall of Fame, where they were judged for creativity and how well they displayed Trojan pride.
Based off judging, the organization had an opportunity to be judged on overall appeal, creativity, incorporating the Hall of Fame theme, and just Trojan pride, but we focused more on the creativity side and the Trojan pride side. So if you just have some type of incorporation of the Hall of Fame theme or champions of the past, leaders of the future, that type of stuff, we just really wanted to look cute.
Last year, due to COVID, homecoming was scaled back, including the parade. But Camel says the homecoming parade is back and better than ever this year with the theme Hall of Fame.
The parade looked very different. There were no like big floats or major floats or anything, and it was on campus, like down University Avenue. So the Chamber of Commerce downtown, the city of Troy has really done an amazing job of getting the Troy Parade back to what it used to be and back in the city.
Alpha Tau Omega won first in float for fraternities, and Alpha Gamma Delta won first for sororities. But Camel says the parade is all about getting the Troy community involved with homecoming activities.
I don't know how these organizations do it. These students dedicate a lot of their time and energy and resources to getting these floats done, and I know they look amazing. So I think people have a great opportunity to see some great stuff.
We use maps all the time and usually don't think about where they come from. However, there's a major at Troy University that's teaching students how to become the map makers of tomorrow. Alex Albritton gives us a look at the GIS major and how it was celebrated on campus this week.
GIS is a scientific framework for gathering, analyzing, and visualizing geographic data to help us make better decisions. On GIS Day, it helped others learn about geography and the real-world applications of GIS that are making a difference in our society. It's a chance for you to share your accomplishments and inspire others to discover and use GIS. Even though celebrating may look a little different this year, sharing GIS is more important than ever.
And this year, Troy University is the only university in Alabama to celebrate this international event. And GIS stands for Geographical Information System. And our department has that as a new major since 2018. And then we want to promote this good major to all Troy students.
By majoring in GIS in Troy University, you can learn about spatial analysis, mapping, geospatial technology, remote sensing, and even spatial modeling. And by majoring in it is also a high demand for graduates.
We learn how to do different mapping techniques and figure out how to use the data that we are given and how to map it out all across an area.
While majoring in GIS, if you minor in the IMA aerial system, students will also get a chance to fly a drone.
Unmanned aerial systems minor is a component of the GIS program here at Troy. And that's important because these are the tools that provide the information that is useful for GIS.
The third week in November is also designated as Geography Awareness Week. At Troy University, they take the time to help others learn about geography and the real-world applications of GIS, which is making a difference on campus. Alex Albritton, Troy, TrojanVision News.
An exhibit in the International Arts Center featured the work of a New York-based photographer, but also featured work from Troy students inspired by the photographer's pictures. Claudia Peppenhorst has the story.
An exhibit in the International Arts Center from 231 to Yangtze features Chinese-American photographer Hai Zhang's work. Displayed alongside Zhang's work is Troy University students' photographs.
Frankly, I'm very, very honored. Working with the students is a part of a process, almost become the part of the process of art making, because you also learn from whoever have seen those things, and also the creative work, and they force you to retrospect your own the artwork.
Zhang worked alongside Will Jacks, a Troy University professor, to co-teach a photography class. He taught the class virtually, where students focused on his portfolio, which features pictures of rural China, to see the different ways they could improve their work.
My main takeaway from this was actually learning how to capture frames and make frames look better, and basically just don't focus on trying to force an image, just let the image come to you.
Zhang says he is honored to be featured here in the International Arts Center alongside his students. But the purpose of this exhibit is to teach student photographers that inspiration is everywhere, even in the most unlikely places.
Some pictures we meant to about the inspiration and why those pictures were taken, and also during the classes I shared some more material I had that was not on my portfolio, and those people, students get some experience and the knowledge of how the practicing photographer and the artist doing those media in the reality.
Zhang says if students and visitors only have one takeaway from this exhibit, he hopes it's inspiration.
I came here 21 years ago. If I could be inspired by the land of people here, I believe the people who live here should be inspired too. So pay attention to your surrounding context and the people next to you.
Claudia Peppenhorst, Troy, TrojanVision News.
We'll take a short break, but when we return, we'll take a look at some of the events from International Education Week. Stay tuned, we'll be right back.
We all dream, but dreams quickly become distant memories unless we do something about it. Do everything in our power to learn to lead. At Troy University, we offer leadership opportunities from day one. We're dedicated to teaching a new generation to lead change. Do you have what it takes to change the world?
Looks like it's done.
Don't let salmonella get funky with your chicken. On average, 1 in 6 Americans will get a foodborne illness this year. You can't see these microbes, but they might be there. So learn the right temperature to cook each type of meat. Keep your family safe at foodsafety.gov.
This was International Education Week at Troy University, and there were events planned every day to celebrate. On Monday, the week's activities focused on the International Arts Center and what it offers to Troy students. Taylor Wayman gives us a look.
Troy's IAC invited students out Monday evening to get their hands dirty and paint. But what they didn't expect was what they'd be painting with.
What we're basically doing today is we invited all Troy students to come in. Since we have a artist who uses mostly recycled materials like Janet Nolan, we wanted to show people that materials they usually just throw away can be used to repurpose and made into art. So that's what we're doing. We're taking printmaking methods, which is an art style that's been used for centuries, and we're taking modern things such as recycling and using that to actually make different patterns, imprints, and things like that.
Products that would usually be tossed into the garbage were turned into equipment used to make abstract painting pieces.
She's the one who first noticed that, and she was like, hey, this sounds really cool. Like, it's all about recycled things, and we can do fun stuff with it. And here we are, and we loved it, because I never knew that you can do all those impressions with those, like thrown away things.
Empty yogurt containers, bottle caps, plastic containers, and more. Troy's IAC has shown the real value behind recycled products and how to use them to express oneself through art. Recycling is being encouraged among communities for many different environmental purposes, with the same end goal: saving the planet one piece of plastic at a time.
Every time you drink water, you throw the bottle cap, like I do. Like, for the very first time ever, I felt like I could really use it.
The event gave Troy students a different perspective about recycling, and needless to say, they took advantage of everything that was offered, and the creativity seemed to be endless.
It was just nice to be able to play with recycled things and just try to make something new out of it, if that makes sense. So I'm definitely going to save my plastic and try to paint more with it.
I think it's cool to have like anybody, any major, any walk of life to come in and make art, because literally art can be used for therapy, it can be used for just meditation. It has a bunch of different things. People see art in animation, graphic design, advertising every day, and they don't realize it. So really getting people to understand like the value of art is really the main part I like about it. And really just, well, as far as recycling goes, it's really important to recycle. And plus, just you're saving your art, but not saving your art, saving the world, but also at the same time, you're kind of making something out of it.
The IAC holds many creative events, and you can stay up to date via social media or by simply stopping by the center.
We need more like this kind of event on campus so that we can do fun stuff and we can really get to know the value of this thing after they're used once, and we can use them over and over again.
Taylor Wayman, Troy, TrojanVision News.
Troy University is home to students from all over the world, and as a part of the International Education Week activities, many of those cultures were represented in an event on the main quad. Robin Olds has the story.
On Wednesday, Troy University's International Education Week offered students a taste of the world on the main quad. Multiple tents were set up with items from various countries representing the students that attend Troy University from around the world.
So the Taste of the World event is an event where we try to get student organizations, international student organizations, the Study Abroad Club and the Study Abroad Office out to talk to students about the opportunities they have to go and study abroad, and also about their countries.
During International Education Week, students get to learn about various cultures through dining, fashion, photography, and more. I'm currently wearing a hanbok from South Korea.
We also have one tent that is for traditional clothes from around the world. Like this one is from Sweden, like I am. And so we just want students to try them on and see what other cultures wear.
Friggy says she hopes students can walk away from the taste of the world with a better understanding of different cultures.
Well, I think they enjoy all of it. You know, they enjoy trying the clothes on. They enjoy hearing about the different study abroad opportunities. They do like to talk to the students from the different countries.
International Education Week is always held on the week before Thanksgiving every year. Robin O, Troy TrojanVision News.
While Troy students had a chance to learn about a variety of countries at Taste of the World, students learned about one country in particular at ISCO's final country night of the semester. Jakaya Dudley has the details.
With Troy University being one of Alabama's top international colleges, their International Student Cultural Organization likes to highlight the traditions of different countries by holding their weekly educational country nights, where international students bring a little of their heritage to Troy, Alabama.
So what we do here at ISCO is we like to introduce American students to some of the cultures here represented on campus. And we found that one of the best ways to do that is through educational country nights, such as we did tonight. So for example, tonight was France night. We had one of our French students, Claire. She came and she did a presentation on France, all about where she's from, where they live, French culture, French history a little bit, and maybe some stereotypes that people might have about French society.
Students from many walks of life came together to learn about the French culture and experience a lifestyle different from their own.
It was a really cool experience to experience another culture night, because I really like that ISCO provides us, also the international students, and I'm an international, so I really like that ISCO provides us and the other American students a unique evening every week, or at least twice a month, of experiencing a new culture, a new country.
ISCO's president, Jackson Kiger, tells us why he feels the diversity of the international community brings something unique to Troy University.
We have a unique opportunity here at Troy University. We are Alabama's international university. The wealth of cultures we have represented on campus is not found anywhere else in the state. And to miss out on that, to not get involved with the international community here, is missing a whole point, a whole huge advantage of Troy University. And there's many organizations on campus to do that through, and ISCO is one of the largest ones that you guys can come out and participate in.
For more information on educational country nights and other events held by ISCO, visit them on their Instagram at TroyUISCO. Jakaya Dudley, Troy, TrojanVision News.
We're going to take another quick break, but when we come back, music filled the air of Claudia Crosby Theater. We'll have the Sight and Sounds coming up right after this, so stay tuned.
We all dream, but dreams quickly become distant memories unless we do something about it. Do everything in our power to learn to lead. At Troy University, we teach everyone to be leaders in their field. We're dedicated to teaching a new generation to lead change.
Mama. Mama. Say mama. Yeah.
I don't know how to tell you this, but I'm almost 2 now and still not responding. That's one sign of a communication disorder, and delaying treatment can affect my development.
Many parents aren't aware of the early signs of speech, language, and hearing disorders, yet early detection and treatment can improve quality of life.
Say dada.
Ugh, here we go.
Identify the signs of communication disorders.
The Claudia Crosby Theater was filled with the sound of music Wednesday night and the first of 2 concerts to be held in the venue this week. Kaylee Wright has the sights and sounds from the performance of Troy University's concert and symphonic bands.
The concert band and the symphonic band performed in Claudia Crosby Theater on Wednesday night. The concert band started the show with lively, toe-tapping tunes.
The band that we were conducting is our campus concert band. It's a conglomeration of many of our music majors as well as non-majors, just people who just want to play music for fun. So we put them all in an ensemble and we play music, have a good time.
Shad Steptoe and the other graduate assistants have been working with the concert band since August in order to test their teaching and conducting abilities with an ensemble. And for the graduate assistants, this was a huge honor.
This was a monumental chance for us because it's been a year coming off of COVID, so this was the first time that the campus band has got to perform live. So, I mean, for the band and us graduate assistants, it's been a great honor tonight.
After the concert band performed, the symphonic band took the stage with Dr. Larry Blocker as the conductor.
This band is a symphonic band. In the fall, we have 3 ensembles that are concert ensembles, plus the Sound of the South Marching Band. So the symphony band, and then the symphonic band, and the concert band. So you heard tonight the symphonic band, which I conducted, and the concert band.
Dr. Blocker said that the theme of this year's symphonic band concert was celebration and commemoration in honor of the past year.
It really is reflective of where we are, I think, right now in society as we celebrate the return of what we hope will be a more normal kind of thing.
Blocker said that we are also commemorating those who are no longer with us or have experienced change or loss.
There's a sense of hope in all of that music.
All the pieces that Blocker conducted were special to him, being that this was his last symphonic band performance before he retires. However, one piece in particular has a special place in his heart.
Rejoicings, the last piece. I remember conducting that 30 years ago when it was brand new, and so I wanted to end that portion with that particular piece.
Kaylee Wright, Troy, TrojanVision News.
Troy University students had a chance to make a memory while participating in last week's homecoming events by simply smiling and saying cheese. Robin Olds has the story.
Picture Day is an event that all schoolgoers anticipate, and now I'm ready for my close-up. Troy University's Palladium held their Picture Day in the Trojan Center on Wednesday. Students and faculty got their pictures taken for their 2021-2022 yearbook. Lines were lengthy as students waited to get their portrait taken. The check-in desk registered students for their session. While having a guest photographer on set, students and faculty were able to get creative with their photos. Adriana Forehand, the Palladium's editor-in-chief, says that this year's photo shoot is different than the previous years.
This year's Picture Day, like I said, we've had a way bigger turnout. That has been different this year. We've also had less turnout of pets this year. Typically, people try to bring their cats or their dogs. Today's Picture Day has gone exceptionally well. We still have like 3 hours left before we close up. We've already had 400 students come take a picture, which is almost double what we had last year.
Troy University's 2021-2022 yearbook is available for pre-order now. Students and faculty were able to have their homecoming week photos featured in the yearbook by downloading the app Yearbook Snap and using code TROJANS2022 when uploading your pictures. Robin O's, Troy TrojanVision News.
A lot of work goes on behind the scenes to bring a live newscast like the ones you see every day here at TrojanVision to the screen. And a major part of that is in-the-field reporting. Zeta Ingram followed one of our TrojanVision reporters, Simon Schuessler, out on a story to show you what goes into preparing a news package for broadcast.
You've heard the name over and over. You've seen the cameras all over Troy, and you've seen the familiar faces that bring you the latest news on campus. But have you ever seen what a Troy TrojanVision news reporter puts into their packages?
So basically right here is our tripods. That's what we set the camera up on.
This is Simon Schuessler, a sophomore at Troy University who is majoring in broadcast journalism.
So these are the camera bags that we have for all our cameras. As you can see, we have 4 that we go out and shoot with. I like to open it and just make sure everything is inside of it that needs to be inside of it, and also make sure that the batteries are charged.
Though he is only in his second year here at Troy, he has already made over 20 stories for Troy TrojanVision News.
Doing stories for TrojanVision, it definitely provides you that valuable experience that you need to get those job opportunities after college. It's definitely something that when I was looking at Troy, I, gravitated towards Troy because of it.
Like Schuessler, every reporter is their own one-man band. Every step that goes into making a story is done by themselves, which is why Schuessler thinks it is a great opportunity to get out of your comfort zone.
A lot of journalists, they can be shy sometimes, not really wanting to go up and talk to the people that they need to talk to. But TrojanVision really gets you out of your comfort zone, that little box that you stay comfortable in, and it really pushes you to do stuff that you wouldn't have otherwise done, and that is some of the part of the valuable experience that you gain from being here.
From setting up the equipment, to shooting the B-roll, to composing interviews, to recording voice tracks, to editing every piece into a sequence on an editing software, an important aspect of a news story is that of a stand-up, which is when the Troy TrojanVision news reporters appear on camera within their own story. The next step is to import that stand-up into their editing software, where they choose where they wish to place the stand-up within the timeline below.
I just don't know any other program in the state of Alabama that would let you do something like that, and it's not something that I take for granted.
Troy University students who are interested in practicing these techniques can visit the Troy TrojanVision studio within the first floor of Wallace Hall. Zeta Ingram, Troy, TrojanVision News.
It's time for our last break, but when we return, basketball season is in full swing. We'll have a rundown of events this week right after this, so stay tuned. We'll be right back.
We all dream, but dreams quickly become distant memories unless we do something about it. Do everything in our power to learn to lead. At Troy University, we teach everyone to be leaders in their field. We're dedicated to teaching a new generation to lead change.
For over 70 years, Smokey Bear has asked you to use fire responsibly.
Fire is due to an unattended campfire. Go time.
Here's how you can stay on the front lines of preventing wildfires. Always watch your campfire. Before leaving, drown it, stir it, drown it again, and feel that the fire is out cold.
Oh, bullseye!
And you won't need a visit from these guys.
Copy that.
You can be Smokey's wingman when enjoying nature and prevent wildfires. Visit SmokeyBear.com for more fire prevention tips.
The Trojan women's basketball team was looking to keep their momentum from Game 1 as they headed into Trojan Arena for their second contest versus Florida A&M. Simon Schuessler has the highlights.
It was a Veterans Day matchup versus Florida A&M for the Trojan women's basketball team, and the team certainly looked like veterans early on as the squad started the game on a 16-6 run by the first media timeout, and they built a sizable 29-12 lead at the end of the first quarter.
I love the way that Amber Leggett came out tonight and scored 6 points in about a minute and a half. That's how we want to start the game. She scored in the first 4 seconds, a layup. So from the start of the game, I was proud of that.
After shooting 58% in the first quarter, the Trojans would slow down offensively, only shooting a 34% clip in the second and third quarters combined. However, behind an astounding defensive effort in which the Trojans forced 28 turnovers in total, while accumulating 30 points off of those turnovers, the Trojans were able to hold their early lead for the rest of the game for a final score of 79-50. Guard Amber Leggett speaks on the impressive defensive performance for the Trojans.
It's a big point in practice. We worked on it a lot yesterday, and that was our big goal, to hold them under, I think, 50 points and get in the gaps and work on ball pressure and all that. So we worked on it yesterday, and it definitely feels good to see it pay off today.
All sororities were in attendance of the game and made it a tough road environment for Florida A&M. Phi Mu was given the Spirit Stick for the loudest and most spirited organization. The junior homecoming court was also announced, with each member being honored at center court. This marked the second most attended game ever in Trojan Arena for the women's basketball team.
Well, I've got to start off by saying I cannot believe the crowds we've played in front of and the students and the energy. I feel like the luckiest coach in the world, and we feel like the luckiest team in the world to have been in front of this many students and this great crowd. It really helped us along.
It took 3 overtimes, but the Trojan men's basketball team whooped Jack State Tuesday night in Trojan Arena. Cy Yates has the highlights.
It took not 1, not 2, but 3 overtimes to settle the score between Troy and Jacksonville State on Tuesday night.
No, I've never played a game in my entire life. Triple overtime, ever. I think I went to double overtime in football. Like, that was the only time.
Despite the unfamiliar territory, the Trojans were able to keep battling with the Gamecocks, and head coach Scott Cross says that his team's persistence is what kept them in the game.
There were so many times throughout the game where it looked like we were dead in the water, being down 4 in the third overtime, and I think it's a tribute to their competitiveness, their toughness, and it just shows the character of our basketball team.
But tonight was all about the defense, and Scott Cross says that his team could be the best defensively that he's ever coached.
We have the ability maybe to be one of the best defensive teams I've ever coached. Jacksonville State's one of the best three-point shooting teams in the country, and our guys did a great job getting to the shooters and not giving them anything easy. So you have to be great defensively to win a championship, and so by being good, we'll give ourselves an opportunity to maybe play for a championship.
2 big baskets from Ife Odiji and clutch free throws from Christian Eugene helped to secure a Trojan win by a score of 69-65, and the Trojans are looking for this win to help kickstart a winning culture.
That's how you build a winning program, is you got to win, you got to experience success. Losing this game tonight is not going to help us, build a winning culture. Winning is going to help us build the culture, and so our guys fought through it and got it done.
The Trojans will look to build off of the win as they head to Boca Raton, Florida this Friday for the Paradise Classic. Cy Yates, Troy, TrojanVision Sports.
It was a disappointing outcome for the homecoming game for the Trojan football team. Simon Schussler has all the action.
The Trojan football team headed into Veterans Memorial Stadium on Saturday to face the nationally ranked Louisiana Ragin' Cajuns. The team hoped to continue their momentum after a big rivalry win last Saturday in the battle for the belt. Gunnar Watson would open the scoring with a 10-yard scramble, giving Troy the early lead. However, Louisiana would quickly respond with a 15-yard touchdown snag. The Ragin' Cajuns would score another touchdown near the end of the first quarter on a 52-yard toss, but the Trojans tacked on 2 field goals to bring the halftime score to 13-14. In the second half, however, the floodgates opened for the visitors.
No, it's disappointing the way we came out in third quarter. Coaches get a lot of credit sometimes and a lot of blame, but at the end of the day, your players, we have to get our players to play better coming out of the half. It's not really about the X and O as much as, I don't know. I can't describe it.
The Trojans would get outscored 21-7 in the second half, giving up 2 touchdowns in the third quarter. The Trojans tried to climb back into the game by scoring a 7-yard touchdown pass to Tez Johnson in the fourth quarter, but a late Louisiana touchdown and a few costly turnovers sealed the game as a 35-21 loss for the Trojans.
Hats off to them. I wouldn't say they're that much better than us. I would say they executed their game plan to a T this game, and we made some costly mistakes, and we just have to cut those out in the future.
The Trojans now turn their attention to their senior night game this weekend versus App State at home. Simon Schussler, Troy, TrojanVision Sports.
And that's the week that was. This is our last episode of the fall semester. We will be back in the spring for more the week that was. So until then, have a good week.